All right, we're live, episode 2.
Yeah, welcome back. Thanks for watching if you guys already did, but if you haven't, then this is where you're starting. Go watch episode 1 too.
Yeah.
Or listen to it.
Watch or listen. I still gotta get the YouTube up for episode 1. It's been a pain in the ass to edit, but it'll get up there. It'll probably be up there today, actually.
Sweet.
So, but I hope we get this released on Monday anyways, or I'm hoping Sunday. But
Okay.
I think every Sunday. So if we record Wednesday, Thursday, every Sunday. So
Depends how busy you are.
yeah, depends how busy I am. Exactly. Depends how busy you are. You've been getting quite a few appointments, getting people in there.
Yeah, it's busy, man. 'Cause I work 40 hours a week at my day job, and then I'm putting my hours into my own training, so I'm making sure that I'm doing what I need to do to reach my goals for like what I want to do with my body and my health. But then that's like several hours a week. I'm putting in hours for bringing people into the gym, trying to get their fitness journey started, or just help them find a new gym that's probably better suited for them. Yeah. Still got to see my girlfriend every once in a while.
Yeah. It's funny when you get busy and all of a sudden you're like, well, you guys started dating young too, like especially when you move back here, you guys have more time together. And now it's hard because all of a sudden you're like, I got to go do this. I got to go do that. I got to go to work.
Yeah. Well, she's really busy too. So
I mean, she's in school. So nursing program is no joke.
Yeah. She got promoted at her job. So
nice.
She's working a little more, but.
Well, hi, Emma. I figure I'd say hi this time. You brought her up last time, kind of like just in the middle of the conversation. And yeah. So if any of the ladies are watching out there, this guy's not single. He's taken.
Yeah.
So, no, I like Emma, dude. She's a good person.
She's okay. She was listening to it yesterday, and she's like, "Do you talk about me at all?" I was like, "I don't know, but I know I talk about my ex-girlfriend." So I showed her that part, and she's like, "Come on."
Yeah, you're never gonna live that one down.
No.
It's okay. Mom was laughing at the fact that I was talking about stealing her line last week, and
Oh yeah.
gonna lie. Anyhow, so episode 2, here we are. Let's just jump right in to last week. I called it word of the day, but I mean, really, it's word of the week, right?
Yeah.
So what's the word of the week this week?
Focus.
Focus.
It's kind of broad, but also it's not, because like I don't care who you are or what you do, like everybody focuses on something, whether it's a waste of time or if it's benefiting you, like you're still focused on the task at hand or something that you enjoy or maybe don't enjoy, but like everybody has that.
Yeah, no, I agree. And like the big thing for me when I think of the word focus is putting your focus on the right things. We were talking a little bit about time and how it correlates, I mean, where you focus your attention, you'll get results. So for example, one big thing for us is the gym, right? It's a daily thing for us. It's, right now during 75 hard, there's no rest days, but it's a daily thing, and our fitness is a focus in our lives. Our business is a focus in our lives. The people we love is a focus in our lives, but in a different way. When you have, I guess, focus to me does differentiate when it's to other people versus to yourself. What do you think?
No, I agree. I mean, like, especially, even like your age. I know you're like married. Like, I'm not married yet or anything, so I should focus more on myself and my future, or like even the present. Like I used to just always worry about like the future, but now I'm really focusing on like setting things up now so that I'm better in the future. Not so much just worrying about it. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
No, absolutely. And I did a stupid TikTok video after I watched, I forget who it was that was talking about it, but essentially they kept just saying that the future doesn't exist. Tomorrow isn't real. It's always today, the present moment. So you can make plans for the future and, put focus there. But I think if you focus on what you're doing in the present, that leads up to what the future holds and what you create. But yeah, so, I mean, focus, there was, what was it? Let me see here. So there was actually a quote that I had found about focus that I really, really like. It made perfect sense. And it's by Giorgio Armani. So, of course, a fucking super rich guy that made money off of
like
clothes and clothes mainly, but then he got into so the quote is, to create something exceptional, your mindset must be relentlessly focused on the smallest detail. And it's funny because, like, when I read that, I was thinking to myself, sometimes you have to focus on the big picture too. But then I got to think about it, like, broke it down, like if you see it big picture, small picture, micro, macro type shit. Even when you're working out or doing your job, like, for example, if you don't follow up with clients, that's a small detail. But if you miss that, which sometimes I'm guilty, like I forget to follow up, your big picture can change. If you only work big muscle groups, your big picture can change. I mean, we all see guys at the gym that have phenomenal upper bodies and chicken legs, look like they're walking on stilts. So, I mean, focus is very important. It's a good word of the week, I think.
Yeah. I think that obviously, like, focus is not meant to be a good thing, but, like, most of your focus should be, like, when people think, like, oh, I'm just focusing right now, like, it's a good thing, like how, like, you're bettering yourself or something. But, like, I mean, I'm very guilty of it, like, focusing on the bad things or, like, things that aren't as important. Like, I probably spent a third of my time the last several months of 2021 just, like, wasting time. And it wasn't necessarily, like, I saw this quote that says, if you enjoyed the time during, then it's not a waste of time. And, like, to a point that could be true.
Yeah, I think it depends.
Yeah, but like say I, like, go out with my friends and, like, I have a good time, but, like, at the end of the day, I'm like I could have been working on myself, or, like, I don't know, just bettering myself rather than just, like, going out and having a few drinks, like, it didn't kill me. It didn't, like, hinder me really at all.
Yeah.
But and, like, I had a good time with my friends. I love hanging out with my friends, but it's like little times like that could add up, that could have you, like, waste a lot of your time, or, like, spending too much time with your girlfriend, like we talked about last week.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean, let's put it this way: everything in moderation, and I think that, especially my generation and your generation, kind of intermixed with something, instant gratification, right? So, instant gratification is almost, I mean, it's a commonplace thing, like, I mean, when I was in high school, for example, and I had my girlfriend, we wrote notes to each other. We talked on the phone for, like, maybe 30 minutes after school, like maybe an hour, if, like, my mom didn't need the phone or something. But then you wrote a note, and, like, you'd have to wait all night to give it to her. And, then you'd have to wait for a response and all this from your note. But now it's like, you just fucking send a quick text, and it's, you get a response. Or, like, I love when people get angry because, you left me on red. The fucker, I'm busy. Like, mom and I don't have red notifications on because, like, there's times where I'll text her. She might read it, but she might be busy.
Yeah.
She texts me. There's times where I read it, but I'm busy. Or, something, I'm in the middle of something, like in a meeting. I can look at it, see what she said, and then respond when I have time. But it's one of those things where, like, for example, video games. When I was a kid, Nintendo came out, right? It was fucking awesome. You play fucking Duck Hunt, Super Mario Brothers. But bro, literally, you'd fucking play for like 20 minutes. You'd get bored and you go outside. Now, there's kids that don't know what outside looks like because all they do is sit in a dark room and play video games all day.
I'm kind of guilty of that. I mean, I do enjoy playing video games, and like, I do it less now than I used to, like a lot. But like that at the time, I'm like, well, this is a lot of fun. I'm not wasting my time, but like looking back, it was a huge waste of my time. Like I'd get home from work, and I would just play video games. I'd eat. I'd go to the gym after work, and then those are like my two things: work, gym, play video games.
See, but at the same time, I correlated to. So, for example, around your age. I mean, obviously, when I met Mom, I was your age, 22. But I think that for me, it was going out, right? Like 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, even 22 until I met Mom. And then her and I would go out on the weekends, you know. I feel like I wasted a lot of time going out and like drinking with my friends and, you know, going to house parties or going to bars. Like, and now I look back at it and I'm like, what could I have done instead? And the main thing is like everything can be done, but I think moderation is the key. Like if you want to be super, like, for example, I want to become one of the top agents in town here. I want to sell at least 100 deals. But in order to do that, I have to cut out all the bullshit.
Yeah.
So like to sell 100 deals, I don't have time for like super leisurely activities. You know, like everything has to be scheduled. Everything has to be done. And that's where like even just like I wanted to wake up, you know, today's what, Thursday? I wanted to wake up this last Monday at, you know, my usual, like when I usually go to the gym early in the morning, like 5 or 6. And for the last like 3 weeks, I haven't been able to. I've been sleeping like shit, you know. But here I am. It's Thursday. I wanted to start back Monday. And, you know, I woke up today, 7 o'clock. Not the time that I wanted to wake up.
Yeah.
I still went to the gym in the morning after I dropped off the baby, but it's not what I wanted to do. So it's, again, focus. You know, like, and yeah, there was a lot of work that I had to put in on the podcast and getting that out because we released it last night. There was a lot of audio issues on it, but
yeah, hopefully
I think we should have it hammered out this time. I think that we should. It should be okay. But anyhow, so I think that focus on where you put your attention, like whether it be video games, like for you, video games or like hanging out with your friends, you know, I think if you want to succeed in what you want to do, I think putting in the time where it matters the most is going to be significant. And I think that that's a lesson I wish I had learned at your age versus mine, you know, but that's just
like, I still play video games every once in a while. Like when I think I have spare time, which I don't really, but like I enjoy doing it. And I do enjoy going through my courses right now, but like that's the grind for where I want to be. So I still try to make sure I take time to like do things I enjoy, to like not surround myself with just all this stress and all that stuff. Like that's just how I see it, you know.
No, definitely, and that's
I mean that's why I use the gym too.
That's the thing, though. That's where I'm talking. Like, I think if you're, you know, like let's put it this way: that there's people out there that say they want to be successful, but they're, you know, and success can be measured in many levels, right? So success doesn't just mean making a shit ton of money. Like, successful can mean like doing what you love to do, you know. And if, like, for example, if you want to play video games for a living, that's a reality. Yeah. But same time, if you're playing video games and you say you want to play video games for a living and you're not actually trying to do it, you're just playing video games. So, you know, wanting to be successful, like I said, it could mean a couple different things. But if you're looking to achieve some shit and then you're spending, you know, 8 hours of the day at work and then another 6 hours of the day on video games and then you're sleeping, you're not going to get where you want to be. And that's where, you know, like you say, you play occasionally. Yeah. You jump on for an hour or two. you know what you're taking time away from.
Yeah.
You know where you're giving time to, and if you're okay with that, and you've put in the work, as I say, like, you paid your dues, do it. But I don't know. So, all right, word of the day was focus. Now, let's word of the day, word of the week. We got to figure out what I want to call that.
I thought you said week, and then you said day again.
I don't know. We'll figure it the fuck out.
Well, I mean, I feel like it's just the day because we talked about it this morning.
Well, then I'm going to call you tomorrow and be like, word of the day is asshole, because you were an asshole for calling me out on the podcast.
I bet we can go into our word of the day or week in depth. Like if we talk about it like tomorrow, say, like right after this one.
Yeah.
If we get it.
No, I agree. Okay. So word of the week or day, we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk a little bit about football. So NFL season's almost done here. We're going to enter into the off-season mode, which will see us talking less about football a little bit. Obviously, there's still combine and scouting and all that coming up, but in all reality, I think when we switch to off-season, I think we'll talk about some other business type things that might help some people out. But so. We are approaching Super Bowl. Super Bowl Sunday is this Sunday. Rams versus the... What am I forgetting right now?
The Bengals?
The Bengals, that's right. Stafford versus Joe Burrow.
Joe Shiesty.
Joe Shiesty. What a name for a super... Never mind. I'm not going to go there.
He's so good.
He's really good. He's really good. But
with his really bad O-line, he's pretty good.
We'll see, man. I mean, it'll be a tough battle, but I think it'll be a good game. I think it'll be an offensive game. I think this one will definitely be an offensive game.
I don't know. I think the Rams defense is gonna just destroy the game.
But I don't know, man, because they can, because the O line's terrible.
Yeah, exactly, and they have like one of the best defensive fronts.
Yeah, but who'd they play against? They played against
the Bucks.
Did they play against the Bucks? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, the Rams have a good D line and good pass rush.
No, they played us in the NFC Championship, didn't they?
No, the Bengals played.
Oh, you're talking about the Bengals? Yeah. I thought you were talking about the Rams.
No, the Rams have a decent O line.
Oh, the Bengals played the Chiefs.
Chiefs. See, I think the Chiefs with their defensive
front is
they should have tore them up and like completely put them away, and they didn't. So I don't know if I'm worried as much about the Rams defense as I.
See, the only reason the Chiefs lost that game is because Patrick Mahomes' brother started twerking. No, I'm just kidding.
I can't stand this guy.
I know. Because Patrick Mahomes just hit the bed. Like, he just couldn't complete passes very well. The receivers were running really weird. He was throwing the ball, like right before they were trying to score at half. Instead of kicking the field goal, getting 3 points, they decided to throw a little dump off to the left. And they got tackled like 4 yards behind the last scrimmage.
But you have to wonder if that's coaching or just player adjustments like audible. And that's where, I mean, they'll know, in the film room, they'll know. It'll matter when you get over there.
Yeah, my dad keeps blowing up my phone. So.
Just tell me busy.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I think that Mahomes, he's a great football player. He's a great quarterback, but I think he sometimes tries to do too much.
And like, you can't blame this because his receiving core is nuts.
Yeah.
That's why he's so good. I don't think Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes without his receiving core.
I think Patrick Mahomes, I'm just going to say it. He walks really funny. You ever watch that man walk to and from the huddle? It's like a jog with a stick up his butt. Like, I don't get it. Like, I'm like, you're a football player out on a football field, and you're like
funny.
prancing. He sounds like Kermit the Frog.
Yeah.
He looks like one of your buddies, though, from junior high.
What?
Looks like Josiah. He does.
Oh yeah, he does.
Well, he sounds like Kermit the Frog. And he walks real funny. So I'm happy they're not in the Super Bowl. But anyhow, I guess we'll see how that turns out on Sunday. More pressing news for us, obviously. Jimmy G, had a press conference where he thanked the faithful, so Niner faithful. If you're not a 49er fan, that's what they call the fan base, is the faithful. That's why the whole faithful to the Bay kind of moniker, comes from. So more than likely, I want to say 99% likely not to come back. So it's either Trey Lance season, or have you heard the rumors?
No.
No?
Why would? What do you mean?
So last week we didn't touch on the fact that Brady retired. This motherfucker has been playing how many years in the league, and then he decides, I'm done. I would have thought he would have been like, no, I got to go out on top. I mean, how are you going to be fucking Tom Brady and like not go out after a Super Bowl win?
Right.
But the rumor floating around, he did an interview where he was talking about how, for now that's how he feels, but who knows what happens in 6 months. There's a rumor that he wants to end his career in San Fran, his team when he was growing up. He grew up in, I believe, San Mateo, California, which is not too far from San Francisco. Niner fan. And apparently there was an attempt to make him a Niner. He really wanted to come to the Niners when he went to the Bucs, but Shanahan passed on him. Lynch, John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan passed on him. Good or bad call? What do you think? If we're going back 2 years ago when he left the Patriots, what do you think? Do you pick up Brady? I mean, I know there's a price tag, but do you pick up Brady at his age?
Probably. With how much they paid Garoppolo? I mean, Garoppolo is basically an underperforming Tom Brady. Because, he was behind Tom Brady for so long in the Patriots. And, obviously, Garoppolo is really smart. He's a smart quarterback. Obviously, if you're behind Brady for so long, you're going to get smart.
Yeah.
He's a GOAT. Or, I don't know about the GOAT, but he's really good.
I don't know, man. So I'll be honest. 49ers fan since I was 5. Joe Montana was still playing. I always considered him to be the greatest quarterback of all time. But after seeing everything that Tom Brady did, it's hard to say that he is not probably going to go down in history as the greatest quarterback of all time.
Tom Brady?
Yeah.
Why?
What? 7 Super Bowls? Is it 7 or 8?
7 rings?
7 Super Bowls.
He's been to 10. Yeah. 7 rings.
10 Super Bowls. Even if you even the fact that he's lost 3 Super Bowls, he's made it to the Super Bowl more times than any any franchise has ever fucking won. He has a deep knowledge of the game. I actually was watching Man in the Arena. It's an ESPN, thing on Tom Brady. It's good. And honestly, I fucking hate Tom Brady, but I have a lot of respect for him as a football player. I honestly just hate him because I hate him seeing him win all the time. But it makes sense when you understand his mentality. So 6th-round draft pick, passed over by so many teams. The man genuinely believed that he should have been a 1st-round pick. And now looking back, can you blame him?
Yeah.
But if you watch that show, it's a series, it gives you more respect for the man, or it'll make your hate for him deeper. And I thought it was going to make my hate for him deeper. But it gave me a lot more respect for the man. But I still hate Tom Brady. But okay, now fast forward. The rumors. Obviously, it's supposed to be Trey Lance season. if Tom
No way
Brady
Tom
comes
Brady.
back and comes to the Niners and wants to end his career there, well, and here's the thing: it makes sense. They have a Super Bowl team. They have a core of receivers that would be great for him. The O-line, if they manage to keep most of those guys, and I mean, think about it. If you're part of that O-line and you're like, I'm going to get a big fucking payday, but they're like, take a little bit less money. We're going to bring in Brady. We're going to go win a Super Bowl. Do you take that pay cut? And on top of it, like, does everybody on the team realize, like, this is the greatest quarterback of all time? This was his childhood team. He wants to end his career here with a Super Bowl win. How hard do you think that motherfucker is going to go to work to get that Super Bowl ring?
Dude, I don't like. It makes sense, but I do not see that happening. Where do you hear these rumors from? I have not seen that at all.
It's all over. Twitter, Instagram, all
I
that.
haven't really been on Twitter.
Yeah, man, it's all over.
Dude, that's crazy.
I think that I'm not going to lie. I would be all for it. I think that, well, because here's the thing: like when you're a kid, right? You imagine playing for your team. If you're a football player, you know, as a kid or whatever, you imagine growing up and playing for your team. And most players don't grow up and go play for their team.
No.
Like, I used to laugh and, you know, I used to say, like, well, if I ever go to the NFL and I get drafted by the Cowboys, I'm just refusing to fucking play. Like, there's no fucking way I'm putting on that uniform. Or the Raiders. Like, those were the two back then that, like, no. Now I'm like, you give me a big enough paycheck, I'll wear a fucking 49er shirt underneath my uniform.
Yeah, I'll be a 49ers cheerleader.
Oh, but so if that does happen, I mean, likeliness, I think there's maybe a 15% chance that actually happens. But
I don't know. So with him retiring, I don't think he comes out because like the day after he like supposedly retired the first time, he drops this like clothing line right off the bat. Like he had never confirmed his retirement. That was just through rumors, which I don't get why he didn't just come out and say it right away because they were all true, all the rumors.
Well, I think in that instance, and this is the thing, NFL, you know, you get a lot of people that talk a lot of, you know, things to each other and like have conversations. And Ian Rappaport, which is one of the main like NFL reporters, kind of insiders, he's the one, I believe, if I remember correctly, that reported that he said he was going to retire. I don't know if that was like a private conversation that he was considering. And, you know, this guy was like, I got to get this shit out there. Like, I have to tell somebody. I don't know. But the clothing line, bro, if you're Tom Brady, you think he really gives a fuck about a clothing line?
No, but I think that he is. I was talking to Tyler about this the other day. That he's going to be like Jordan.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like all of the shit that he's going to do after he retires, even. Yeah, 100%.
I just don't know if he's mentally ready. He was
Tom Brady.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
No, I don't know.
Oh, you don't think he's ready to be
I
done?
don't think he's ready to be done.
Well, I don't think. Unless I don't know. Like some people, when they get to the NFL and they see all the money, they're like, oh, and they just retire with all that money. You know what I mean? After their contract.
Yeah, but most NFL players end up broke. Like that's a secret that most people don't know is that most NFL players and, you know, all the professional athletes, a lot of them, the large majority of them end up broke, like because they didn't manage their funds correctly and nobody ever taught them. I mean, you think about it, you're a 22, 23, 24-year-old kid, and all of a sudden they give you even a $500,000 contract as an undrafted, you know, free agent. Like that's a lot of fucking money for a kid. You know, and all of a sudden everybody around you is, you know, driving some fancy car, you know, wearing all this jewelry, like living in this big fucking house, trying to impress all these chicks and people. So, I mean, most of them end up broke. But I definitely think that Brady is going to be like a Jordan thing, like you said, a mogul. But I just don't know if he's ready to walk away from football.
You think he'll coach? Because I know like one of his reasons for obviously like retiring was so that he could be like a dad and
I don't
be
know
with
if
his
he'll
wife.
coach in NFL or college. I just can't imagine.
Probably
like,
coach his kids.
For example, Kurt Warner coached up in Phoenix. He coached his kids' football team, even through high school. He was a coach in a high school program up there. Can you imagine that shit show that would be like Tom Brady coaching a Pee Wee football team? Like, I think he'd want to. I just think it'd have to be a very specific group of kids. Like, you know, and I mean, I don't know. I would hate to be Tom Brady's son. I think his name's Jack. It's like being Joe Montana or Jerry Rice's son. Like Jerry Rice's son plays at Colorado, and he just switched over to USC. But like, how do you live up to your dad's namesake? And that's terrible. Like, the greatest receiver of all time, quarterback of all time, and then here's Jack Brady. Well, what if Jack Brady can't throw a football?
Right.
I mean, maybe he can, and maybe he'll be the next great. But I mean, what if he can't?
That's what sucks about situations like that. Like, I don't think anybody should try to like live up to anybody's name, but like it happens so much.
It does. But I don't know. We'll see if he coaches. I think it'll probably be his kids' football team because if he's genuinely
Does he play football.
I think his kid's like 7. I don't think he plays football yet. Well, Tom Brady didn't play football until high school. His parents wouldn't allow him, or his mom wouldn't, if I remember correctly. But I mean, in terms of the, hey, how much time are we at? I still find it weird that 31 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. I still find it, I don't know. Let's put it this way. I think that if he does come out of retirement, Gronkowski came out of retirement, so it's totally possible. But I think if he does come out of retirement and comes to the Niners, even for a season, I think that would be exciting to watch. Because I think just the element, forget the fact that it's Brady. I think the element that you have a phenomenal quarterback that has a clear understanding of football. And when we say understanding, like, I understand how real estate works, but not even to that level. Like, if you have an understanding of something that deep, no matter what, you can be a phenomenal player. To see him come and, do one season and win the Super Bowl and ride off into the sunset with a Super Bowl ring as a Niner, like, that's every kid's dream. And he might have the opportunity to live his. Super Bowl roster.
If he does go to the Niners and we bring back our core players, we definitely bring back Debo.
Oh, yeah.
100%. I haven't heard anything about Kittle. He's not a free agent, though.
He's not a free agent. He's under a long-term contract now. Dude, I was looking at the list of free agents, and we have a lot. It's not like, and that's where I really think that if I am John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, I think that either way, there's a difference. Depending on how tight that locker room is, will depend on how much players are willing to come back. And even if it's just a year or two contract, like for a little bit less money because they know they have a real shot at something, and how much they believe in the next quarterback. So if that's Trey Lance, like it should be, then, do they believe in him? Do they genuinely believe that he can take them there? Then yeah, I mean, you come back for a season or two, because think about it. You go and win a Super Bowl, and then all of a sudden you're a free agent again. How much more money can you then, bring to the table?
Especially if you play.
Yeah. So we'll see. But the Tom Brady thing, the rumors are, I gotta say, intriguing.
I saw a rumor that Saquon Barkley might go to the Niners.
He's a corner, right?
Running back.
No, we don't need another running back.
I don't know, dude. Our running backs get hurt too much.
That's because of how much we utilize them.
Yeah, but I don't know. Who has the most rushing attempts this year? I forget.
I don't remember right now.
I don't know.
But
I mean, like Saquon Barkley's getting wasted. Like he's such a good talent, but The Giants are terrible.
But see, the thing is like I think it was so today. Actually, Deebo Samuel said that if he had started from what he calls the wide back position now instead of wide receiver, he would have guaranteed gotten 1,000 yards receiving, 1,000 yards rushing. And I don't see that as false. I also get terrified because every time they run him, I'm like, if this motherfucker gets hurt because he's running a sweep, or like when he runs up the middle, I'm like, oh shit, he is. But man, it's terrifying. I don't know.
Damn, when he got laid out in the Rams game, dude, I was like, oh.
Dude, my heart sank. I was like,
I've never seen him get hit so hard.
Especially with as big of a man as he is, you're just like.
The first time we played the Rams, Jalen Ramsey came up and like tried to clock him, and Jalen Ramsey hits the floor, and like Debo's just standing up still. I'm like, how do you take that?
Right? I don't know. I have no idea. Some of these guys are like fucking
DK Metcalf. That man is different.
So I hate the Seahawks, and you know that, but
yeah,
he should go to a team that.
To the Ravens.
I think he would fit in there well. But you know what, though? I don't know. I don't know because Lamar Jackson is another one of those can do a lot, but sometimes it's too much. And
I don't know. He can throw the ball really well.
Yeah, he can.
People are only calling him like a running back quarterback or like a running back.
No, I mean, it's the same thing as when Russell Wilson first came out. You know, like Russell Wilson has pocket presence. He stays cool in the pocket, but he can also scramble and run. He's short. You know, they're talking about trading him possibly. So I think he could use a fresh start. I don't know longevity of his career. I think that next team he goes to, maybe a year or two, and then he becomes a backup or something. You know, but like, for example, you know, you have running quarterbacks where, you know, like Kaepernick, he's like a goddamn gazelle when he played. You know, Lamar Jackson, same thing. But the problem is that, you know, you always have, like what happened with, you know, Kaepernick and the Niners. And not even talking about the whole kneeling thing, but just the play of it, he did phenomenal as a mobile quarterback. And then all of a sudden, Greg Roman was like, let's turn him into Tom Brady and have him stand in the pocket. Horrible season, you know. And that's what I fear with Lamar Jackson. It's like somebody's going to turn him into a pocket quarterback because they don't want him to get hurt.
I don't think anybody would do that. Not with Lamar Jackson.
I didn't think anybody would do that with Kaepernick. I mean, if you think about it, you take all the bullshit aside with him and just football. Literally, he was poised to be a great quarterback, probably for the next 5 to 6 years with the Niners. And then they turned him into Tom Brady for that season, and his production went down. It just didn't work. So if you have a player like that, you utilize him for his strengths. You didn't, you know, and I don't know how
he would fit really well in Kyle Shanahan's offense.
Oh yeah, he would have. And that's the fun thing is I think that's why they went and picked up Trey Lance is because he's more of a mobile guy.
Yeah.
Plus he's a beefy motherfucker. Like I think he's gonna fare okay. As long as the O-line keeps him all right, he can dig a few licks. Like
I saw him a couple times in person.
Yeah,
at NDSU.
That's right. When he lived up there, because Fargo and
it was like 15 minutes from NDSU. He used to party over there.
Should have been partying.
I know.
That's just dad saying that. All right. So we'll see what happens. Super Bowl Sunday this Sunday. I'm sure we'll talk about the results next week and the game next week. And then we'll head off into off-season mode where we talk about Combine and dive a little more into college players. Oregon, obviously, favorite team.
We talk about baseball.
Fuck baseball. Like a ball with a stick. It's fucking most boring fucking sport. I mean, even soccer is more exciting than baseball, and I hate soccer. Yeah, fuck baseball.
I was just kidding.
Now I'm all sitting over here offended. All right. So last week we touched on it a little bit. Let me look at my notes here. Okay. So 75 hard. Do you remember what day we're on?
Nope. I never freaking go on the app anymore. because it was down for like a couple of days, and then after the 30 days, I like stopped using it.
I didn't.
I'm on day
I even
17.
posted when I'm. How are you on day 17? We started the same day.
Oh wait, maybe this is from yesterday.
Tell me. That's why I post it every day to keep track. So, anyhow, so 75 hard. We kind of touched on it. For you guys that don't know, I kind of showed it last time. That's the app. You check off what you do through the day. And obviously, if you're listening to this versus watching it on YouTube, 75 Hard program by First Form founder Andy Frisella. Love the guy, hate the guy, but this program is, I think it's life-changing, bro. I think that it definitely throws you off any type of mediocrity. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard as fuck. Like, it's in the name. But I think it throws people off their mediocre bullshit. What do you think?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it definitely makes you being comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, then obviously like, I feel like once you are comfortable, when things are uncomfortable, like that's where people succeed the most and the best. Like they're more self-sufficient, they're more efficient. I don't know. I mean, that's how I felt. Like, especially the first 75 days, like that was the tough one. I mean, because diet's been my biggest downfall because I've been working out forever. Like, I've really only been lifting like to reach goals for like a year now, coming up on a year, because I stopped playing football. And I mean, I lifted for football for so many years, and it's totally different. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to do thousands of reps anymore. Or
Well, plus, I mean, the program you guys lifted in under, especially high school, because that was the longer portion of it for you. You guys did a lot of like, I want to say injury prevention.
Yeah,
versus,
which I mean, I think is good.
It definitely,
we
it is.
We didn't do that in college, and then like we didn't do any like shoulder stability work. Like we did bench.
Oh, I'm getting a cramp in my leg. I had legs yesterday. Oh,
I did too. And I go and hurt my shoulder.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just little things.
But you know, I think it worked for the offense you guys ran in high school, because you guys ran a lot of up tempo. You know, especially on offense.
We did no huddle every play.
But like, for example, when I played football, ours was more power, like more physical. Our offensive and defensive lines, like, we commanded the fuck out of people. Like, we're going to move you. Don't give a shit how big you are. I'm going to move you. You know, you could be a fucking 450-pound boy. Me at 315, you're getting the fuck out of my way, and I'm getting to the quarterback. But the thing is, too, is like, your guys' team was able to score a lot more than we were back in the day. Because even when I played offensive line, like, I mean, I could stand there and block my guy, whether it's pass block, run block all day, because I was strong. But if we went on a drive where it was like, you know, a 13-minute drive where, you know, high school quarters are only 15 minutes, I'm fucking dying. Like, I'm like, coach, I need a breather, you know? So, I mean, obviously there's advantages, but so the 75 days, I mean, we completed that a while back ago.
Yeah.
What was your biggest takeaway from that initial 75 days?
Probably the like not the growth itself, but like how fast like my like physical shape changed, but like my mental like shape and my mental health changed. Like, I mean, like the first couple of days I was just like kind of dragging it out, like just getting it done type of thing. But like you start looking forward to like you look forward to the end of the day where you're like, okay, I completed the day. Like I succeeded in doing all these tasks. You start looking forward to the reading, which like I hate reading, but like when you find a book that like actually is like a self-help book or anything that's motivational or isn't some comic fiction book, you know what I mean? Like you start looking forward to things like that, which like I would have never thought I would again. Because if I didn't do this, I would probably never read it, like unless I had to, you know what I mean?
And I think too, that's the thing, is that most people correlate 75 hard with fitness, right? Because obviously you get results. If you do it, you get results. But I mean, it's designed to be mental toughness, type thing. Now, I read, well, I shouldn't say that. I listened to the Audible version of Can't Hurt Me prior to, actually, like the 2 weeks before we started the program.
Yeah.
Our family took a trip to Portland. You were there. But I drove up to Portland. Now, why that's significant is I think that, first of all, I always wanted to do that. I always wanted to drive up to Oregon, like just on a trip where it would be me by myself or mom with me. Just kind of like having that adventure of like going up there. But the fact that I was able to do it and drive up there by myself, I listened to that whole book on the way up. And I think that listening to it prior to me starting was like the base foundation to like the mental shift that needed to happen. Like once I heard that and heard about, this other guy that was fucking spraying for cockroaches and shit, that was fucking overweight, not happy with himself, went through all this shit as a young man, as a kid, that he could completely change his circumstances. Like, so there was a movie, I forget what movie it was, but basically one of the parts of the movie were that the man wanted to change what he called change his stars. Yeah, it was a Heath Ledger movie. I don't remember what it was. I think it was The Last Night or something like that. Or no, I don't remember.
I haven't seen the movie, but I've seen that clip somewhere.
Yeah, no, I mean, and the movie wasn't all that great. Like, Heath Ledger, great actor, but that line somehow stuck with me. And the fact that I understood that another man that went through a bunch of shit in his life could change his stars, that was profound for me. I think that definitely helped in my process of, because dude, like 2 workouts a day, like no rest days. Like I work out before that 6 days a week, 2 hours a day. I love being at the gym, but there became a change when all of a sudden it's 2 workouts a day. One of them has to be outside. We started the first week of August, so I thought I was going to die every time I went for, a walk or a jog at night. And, by the end of, like, day 50, I found myself fucking sprinting. Like, granted, it wasn't, like, the whole 45 minutes, but, like, I hadn't sprinted since high school. And, like, that book definitely changed some shit for me. Now, you, on the other hand, you finished your 75 days with it, or did you read it during phase 1?
I think I read it between phase 1 and phase 2.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
So, I mean,
I finished phase 1 and then I read the book.
So for you, obviously different life circumstances, right?
Yeah.
What were like the biggest takeaways from that book that either helped you in this process or through life?
Like obviously, like I have gone through nothing like he has. Like not really anything close. You know what I mean? Like didn't have like the easiest childhood, but shit is like rainbows and unicorns compared to his. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like I'm very grateful, but like at the same time, like listening to him talk about like how he fucked up a lot and like just like trying to relate like that way, like how he like holds himself accountable every like no matter what he's doing. Like it's like instantaneous too. Like he's like, I'm just gonna take it this far, and then he reaches that goal and he's like, okay, well I'm already here, I might as well just go this far. You know what I mean? Like I've been trying to do that more. Like no matter what it is, if I'm at the gym, I don't just go for my 6 reps. Like now I'm starting to do like, if I'm trying to do 405 for 5 and I get 5 and I'm like, okay, I'm done. That's what I used to do. But now I'm like, okay, let me see how many I can get. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like, I think that's like the biggest takeaway is like pushing yourself always, even if it's like, I don't fucking know, some random shit like tying your shoes faster. I don't know.
Well,
Not really,
yeah, but it changes. Like, and it's so funny because like I think about it and I'm like, does this man realize what he put out there? Like, it is. And I, like, I mean, it's just a fucking book, but I mean, like, if you literally take it for what it is at its core, it's life changing.
I agree.
Like, your mentality shifts, and I think that's one of those books where that should be fucking required reading in high school. Like, that would be phenomenal. I think at least every athlete should read it for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
So, day 18, phase 2. Phase 3 is going to come. And there's some additional shit that...
Is there additional? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Still haven't read the book.
Nope. You got to read the book, but you have a firm understanding of like how the whole program works. It's not that long. And to be honest, it's not like a super intense book, but it lays out the program so that you can understand it like at its core, and everything that it involves, and like his whole reason for creating it, which I think is a good thing to understand. But there's some shit that comes in phase 3 where like you have to talk to one random stranger every day, which
that's
like
right.
That one I think is going to be the most interesting, especially in like, as we start to kind of get into like this post-COVID world. People are either super friendly or not as friendly anymore. And just kind of testing those waters. I mean, we'll see how it goes. I mean, the thing that's going to suck the worst, I think, beyond that is the fact that we started in August. We have to complete it by the anniversary date of when we started it. That means that the 30 days are going to be in July.
Yeah. What was it, like August 20?
I don't remember exactly.
Yours was like August 20 something else. Like I started it with you, and then I restarted it like a week and a half after we started.
But our 30 days is pretty much going to be throughout July. No, because I think we started it. I think we started like August 8th.
No.
I'm pretty sure.
The other day, and it's like,
well, either way, it's going to be like 115 degrees out.
Yeah.
I think I might die.
I'm just going to use the pool.
Yeah, right. Yeah, go swimming outdoors. I mean, it's a workout. So I'm just swimming laps. And that's probably one of the best workouts. That's the best type of cardio there is.
Really?
Yeah, dude. There's no fucking traction like on your joints on anything. Like you can swim. Like that's why. Like, so Tyler DeBerry is one of our friends, and he was a swimmer for the University of Arizona back.
That guy's in insane shape still.
Yeah, I mean, we're about the same age, I think, Tyler and I. And like sometimes he posts pictures, and I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, I want to know, like, Tyler, what do you eat? What do you eat? What's your diet like? Cause shit. And like, I'm like, I need to start swimming or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It blows my mind every time. I'm like, we're the same age, and yet he looks like he could be competing in the Olympics.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyhow, so
what about you? I mean, I took my takeaways. What were your takeaways from the book, and what, like, the first 75 days or phase 1?
So the book, obviously, like I said, life changing. Like, I don't know if he understands what he wrote to begin with. Like, I think probably does now, but I don't, because he was writing it. I really wonder if he understood what he was doing. Because it's life-changing if you take it for even just face value. 75 hard takeaways. Those 75 days were a mix of like inspiration for me / torture. I haven't been that active. And like I said, worked out 2 hours a day prior to all this. Like I'd put in, I'd walk out of the gym, your Apple Watch tells you roughly how many calories you burned, whatever, like,
Yeah.
But like I'd walk out like with, 1,500, 1,600 calories burned for my 2 hour workout. Intense fucking workout. Like I don't lift light, I don't, but being that active where you're doing 2 workouts, you're doing this, you're doing that, like, one of them is outdoors. Like I bought a stationary bike that, I do out in the backyard, and like that was torture. Cause it'd be like 100, I think I have a video on my Instagram where, like it was 112 degrees out at like 10 o'clock at night. And I'm sitting there and like there's a puddle under me of sweat. But I mean, it was the wanting to complete it and not allowing myself to just give up. Obviously, caught a cold like 2 weeks ago now. Had to.
It's supposed to be like 80 this weekend in January.
I know. Like had to stop phase 2 and start over. Like that wasn't fun because like I was hell bent on not having to restart anything because I hadn't yet. But
I didn't get a cold, but I got sick the same time as you.
Yeah.
I freaking had like vertigo or something. I could not stand up straight, so I could not imagine trying to work out.
yeah, no, I wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't.
That's so weird. It was like the same exact time.
Yeah. Well, dude, and then I took, COVID test, all that negative. And like, I'm a big fucking baby when it comes to being sick. I don't feel good. Like when I get sick, it's just like, I'm down for the count. But anyhow, takeaway from 75 Hard so far, just overall program for me has been that, like you said, do shit, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Your progress as a person, as a human being, it like literally can change very quickly if you understand that being comfortable is actually sometimes a bad thing.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like, oh, I'm comfortable in my chair. Oh, it can be too. Like you get home from work, you become sedentary, you just sit there and, like do nothing because it's comfortable. Sometimes you need it, but the less of it you do, the more you can achieve. Here you are yawning again.
Fucking tired.
With all that being said, though, so I mean that kind of covers our 75 hard journey.
So far.
So yeah, so far. I mean, we'll see. Still got another. Well, I'm done day 18, so I got another 12 days. So we'll see where that ends up. Finally, I'm coming back to my point where I'm losing weight again. I plateaued for a bit. You were talking about that you had plateaued.
Yeah.
So hopefully,
It's getting stronger though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my goal, dude, honestly, is that I want to get under 300. I haven't been under 300 since I was your age. Since I came back from the Army, I weighed like 295. 285 maybe. No, it was way less than that.
195?
No, like, I think I weighed like
way.
215 when I came back. That's so crazy to think about. Like right now, I am 100 pounds over what I was when I met your mom. And I'm still in pretty good shape. Like this was my high school weight. Like 315 is my high school weight. But like in high school, I was like, let's put it this way, I was a lot less body fat. And I could move. I'm still in pretty good shape though. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, man. So time for your question.
Yeah. I was trying to think about one last couple of days. Because last week you asked me a question. I think what I kept coming back to was like, what is something that either you wish you hadn't told me, or something you wish you maybe had said different, or I feel like you might not have anything you wish you told me because you tell me pretty much whatever you're feeling. You know what I mean? Like you always give me advice, but yeah, along those lines, like something you wish you had never said or said in a different way.
That's a good question, but it's hard because
I'm not big on like regret or anything. But
no,
like,
there's just so many like I don't know. I mean, there's there's times where I wonder now, like, because you know me, I can be a real hard ass, and I'm always taken very seriously because I have a very serious demeanor, especially when I'm in the middle of a conversation with you guys, like where it's not like just like, oh man, how was your day? Like, you know, it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I come off very brash, and I think that that's one thing that I try. With all the lessons I learned from you, like in terms of like our conversations or our talks when you were younger, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm by no means perfect, and you know, your other brothers are going to hear this and they're going to be like, Dad hasn't changed one bit, but they also didn't hear some of the conversations you and I had.
Yeah.
I've tried to change my approach a little bit, you know, like there's times where I think I came at you more. I mean, it also varies because I think I would start out by trying to have a conversation, and then as shit just kept getting like, you know, either worse and worse, like in terms of like from my perspective. And this is one of those things where like last week we spoke about perspective. From my perspective, you know, like as like, for example, when we go back to your senior year and like, you know, the lead up to the summer before your senior year, I was like really getting on your ass because you were spending all this time with, you know, this girl and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, dude, come on. Like, you want to do big things. You got to do big things, you know? And like, I think as it got closer and closer, I think that internally as you're not doing what I thought you should be doing, which that's a fault of mine, because what I thought you should be doing doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I took it as it's my job to try and keep you on track. Like as dad, that's what I would have wanted. You know, like you know, I said like my dad's situation was entirely different, but like as somebody who was here with you daily, I would have wanted at your age somebody to say, "Hey, you got to work a little harder. You got to push yourself." You know, like. But I also am getting that not everybody wants that. You know.
Yeah.
Or even maybe that's not what you wanted at the time, where like versus now, you might be like, yeah, that's exactly what I needed, but I didn't know it, because that's what I think about sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, my approach. I think when I started to get irritated, I should have recognized then that my expectations of what I thought you should be doing weren't as valid as I thought they were. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think that's what I would have changed. Still think I would have found a different way to push the fuck out of you, because I think you never know what you're going to do until you do it all, right? And I think that's one of those things where, you know, like for example, going back to Tom Brady, does Tom Brady become Tom Brady if he didn't have certain people pushing him? You know what I mean? Who knows? You know,
I was thinking about that.
It's one of those things where like I really wonder what I could have done football wise had I had somebody to push me, compared to like, you know, just growing up with my mom. Like she would go to some of my games when she wasn't working, but like it wasn't like I had somebody there to like talk to me, push me, motivate me, like any of that. So I think, yeah, just my approach would have been different. So, but yeah, no regrets. I mean, still, there's shit that, you know, I tell you that when you're my age, you're going to be like, I can see why dad said that or did that or why he did it that way. And there's going to be things that you're still like, fuck that guy.
That's what I was going to say right now. Like that whole time period that you were talking about, like, I don't think that like I would have changed anything. Like if I had even listened to you, you know what I mean? Like I really wasn't even listening, which is like stupid, but like what you had told me then, like maybe I didn't need to hear it then, but like it's definitely like it's clicking now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I think is more important. Which like I definitely could have done more like with my football career, but Like I don't regret anything. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing is that I think that
Because I'm on like a good path now. And like
I think you ended
do.
up. Let's put it this way. I try not to compare my past to your guys' presence. The only thing I think about is the fact that, you know, in terms of the should-have, would-haves, I don't want you guys to should all over yourselves, like what I should have done. And so if you guys, you know, have something now that you're trying to pursue, like I'm there 100% to back you. And if I see you breaking off the path and you're doing it for stupid fucking reasons, I'm going to call you on it just because I think that in life we allow distractions to get us really quickly.
Yeah.
I'm even guilty of it sometimes. But I try and do better about it every day because I know where I want to be a year from now, 2 years from now, 10 years from now. And if I allow too many distractions, I'm not getting to where I want to be.
Yeah.
And that's what I think about every day. Like every day. It drives me nuts sometimes. I think about the fact that I need to be focused on what I want to do. Which brings back to the word of the week or day, whatever. Focused. Yeah. So
I think there's good ways of like, shit, what did you just say? Not wasting time, but like, what did you just say?
staying focused.
No. Distractions. I think there's a thing called good distractions. Like today after the gym, I wanted to go home. Like I got done at the gym like 10:30, 10 o'clock because I went a little later. And instead of doing that, I like sat in the gym just talking to the owner for like an hour and a half. But like half of it we kind of bullshitted. Half of it we were talking about like training. We were talking about like lifestyle. We were talking about 75 hard, actually comparing it to like bodybuilding competitions and preps and all that stuff. He's like, it's pretty much the same thing. Maybe they just don't read.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Never knew that.
Yeah. Because I mean, maybe not exactly 2
No,
hours
but I
a
mean,
day.
the lead out has to be like if you're trying to compete.
Just no cheating at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your diet has to be on point. Like they're working out probably twice a day, trying to get like shredded. And I mean, yeah.
Let's do some bodybuild competitions. I'm just fucking around. I don't want to do that shit.
I'd have to get down.
I already don't fit into my clothes.
I'd have to get down to like 10% body fat. Or that, I have to lose at least like 10%.
That's where I struggle. Like, what the fuck do they eat? I'm all these people that are like lean and muscular. I'm like, how?
It's like, because that's like that's where my least of my knowledge is in this whole area so far is like nutrition. I still haven't taken those courses yet. What I'm doing honestly is like, which I think is why I got I hit a plateau is because I was too high in calories. But I'm just like, I'm staying away from like processed foods with like high sodium, foods with sugar. Like the only like sugary foods I eat really are like, I mean like milk has sugar in it. Peanut butter has sugar in it, which I eat a shit ton of peanut butter.
It's crazy to think how like when you really try and break away from sugar, for example.
It's tough because almost everything has sugar.
Everything,
like all the condiments, sugar.
But that's crazy, right? Because if you think about it, like we don't, for the most part, grow up knowing what real food tastes like.
No. Yeah, because we're put on this like, I mean, especially nowadays, because it's so convenient to get a burger delivered to your door from anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, it's this whole like, what's the word there? It's just convenient. Mm-hmm. Like being something convenient is just bad, I think. Convenience.
No, yeah, absolutely. And that's where I like most like
if something is convenient, like there's something to it. You know what I mean?
I mean, you get so conditioned to like you're hungry like and you're out and about, like, especially like, doing real estate, like go grab a burrito. Like it's quick, it's easy. But even like a burrito, while it's not necessarily the worst thing for you, it's not the best thing for you either, Like, and then, you're at the office. Oh, well, I don't want to go drive to go get lunch. I'm going to DoorDash fucking, whatever. Man, one leg cramped up and now the other. I take fucking potassium too. This is crazy. Just trying to avoid standing up because, like, I don't want to. Yeah. Fuck. That hurt.
You'll be fine.
You
need to drink some water.
Potassium pills at night.
That's why, because you don't stretch.
Bro, I cannot stretch. We talked about this.
You can stretch. I promise.
So far.
I'll stretch you out.
I don't know about that. There was one other thing I wanted to talk about before we wrapped up for the day. So, real quick, there was an article that came out. Let me see here. I had it up for us to talk about. So, obviously, real estate market's been crazy, and I know you're not fully like into the market like I am, but housing prices are at an all-time high. They did a survey where they asked a large majority of like age range from your age to a little bit under mine, like I want to say like 20 to 35, what they thought about whether it's a good time to buy a house or not. So the large majority said that it's not a good time, and I think the actual numbers, if I have them here, only 25% think it's a good time to buy a house. Now, the reason why I bring this up, and I know that, like, obviously it's kind of like out of your depth of knowledge, is because most buyers that come to buy a house, and from my experience, they don't know that much about the market, that much about lending or interest rates or anything like that. So you take somebody exactly like you. I have this thought. I'm going to buy a house, right? Prices are all-time highs. Interest rates are kicking around 3.4%, which is higher than it was like a year or two ago, a year and a half ago. What are your thoughts?
Like if I would buy a house?
Like, well, just knowing what you know a little bit about the market. Like, obviously, I've talked to you a bit. But, like, so housing prices are crazy, right? Like, the average median, price for a house is it's hovering around 400 right now.
I think just with, like, the conversations that we've had, that, it's the goal of everybody, like, especially, like, nowadays, like, you get either, like, you make a good amount of money kind of young and you want to buy a house, or, like, you're in a relationship and you guys can afford it, so you guys buy a house together. But obviously, like, I probably would have thought the same way if, like, you and I hadn't had our conversations about multifamily, like, properties. Mm-hmm. So like, I would rather buy like a duplex, triplex, maybe a fourplex before a house, because you would live in it. You have to live in it for a year, right?
So
minimum year.
You buy an FHA, year minimum. But even beyond that, man, like. So let's take, for example, my last client and then Seabass from when I was coaching. They both bought single-family homes. So Samuel, my last client that just did this, he bought a single-family 4-bedroom house. And because he's technically a single guy, like he has a girlfriend, but
he's not married.
He's not married. She doesn't live with him. So he's going to rent out the other 3 rooms. He bought the house, FHA, and, so it's a 3.5% down, and he is going to rent the rooms. And as long as he has all 3 rooms rented, he can actually cash flow from like $400 or $500.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's one of those things where, like, Seabass did it too. He bought a 4-bedroom house, and he's renting out the other rooms.
How's that down by the U of A?
Closer to the U of A, yeah. It's down, I forget what the main crossroads are, but nice house, and and that's even doing it without doing multifamily. Like, I mean, obviously for somebody like you, where if you and, Emma move in together, like, ideally you're going to want to have your own space without having it shared with other people. So like a triplex or a fourplex would be better. But I still think it's crazy, man. Like, what people don't understand is just because rates were at like 2.5% a year ago, like, people used to borrow money for a house at 17%. So you borrow money for a $200,000 house, you were borrowing it at 17%, not 3.5%, even if you go up to 4%. Like, that is what I find crazy, because that's cheap money, But I want to do an episode where we talk a little bit more about, like, tips that I might have for people that kind of like Sebastian or Samuel's. It's kind of funny they're both an S name that did that, but that kind of want to look for that option, because like rents are fucking sky high. It costs more to rent than it does to buy a house now. So I think we should probably do an episode on that. So we'll save it there to go a little bit deeper later. Also, I am excited for the Rebel Moon movie that Zack Snyder's doing. You heard anything about it?
No.
I want you to read about it. Ray Fisher, the guy that played Cyborg, he's actually cast in it now. So I'm excited to see that guy act again, because after the whole mess with, Joss Whedon and all that, he'll get a chance again. But it'll be fun. And just in case, Rebel Moon.
Rebel Moon.
It'll be good. It'll be really good. You know what? Some people love Zack Snyder movies. Some people hate them. Snyder Cut was absolutely phenomenal.
It was. It was good.
Dude, like almost daily, the Restore the Snyderverse hashtag on Twitter trends. Still. Like, if Warner Brothers, so Discovery's taking over Warner Brothers, if they do not understand that there's a huge audience for this, they're gonna kill off. Like the Battison movie, as they're calling it. I hate that they're rebooting Batman again. It doesn't look like it's gonna be a bad movie.
Is it the Robert Pattinson? Is that what you just said? Battison.
Like Batfleck when Batfleck was the, But I'm not excited as much for that one, because I'm tired of Batman being rebooted.
I've been through like 3. 22.
Well, shit. No, you've been more than that. Like,
I've seen like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Like that was before I was born, though.
I don't know.
Right? No, I was born in 99.
You were born in 99, so I don't know. I mean, and then they're bringing back Keaton as Batman for the Flash. I'm like, come on, man. Like, that guy should not.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
That's
I
weird.
think they kill him off too, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm not excited about the Flash movie. I think they're trying to undo the Snyder Cut and all this stuff. But if you haven't watched the Snyder Cut version of Justice League and all you saw was the 2017 version, by all means, take the time, split it up into 2 days if you want. It's a 4-hour movie. Well worth it. Black Suit Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, Cyborg, all that. Like, that was a great movie. But I don't know. I just want to throw that in there because, like, I was pretty impressed, that it's been trending for like pretty much daily.
I had no idea.
So
I haven't been on socials, man.
yeah.
I used to be so active on them, and then now I'm getting busy.
I don't have time. I think Twitter's my distraction. Like, I'll jump on there and like see what what news is happening in the world, but like at the same time, I get a lot of real estate news and stuff like that. So
I turn off notifications for everything except for my Instagram.
yeah, you should probably turn it off for Snapchat too.
Yeah.
Say, fuck those streaks. Everybody's worried about streaks. I'd be like, I'm not worried about streaks. I'm worried about cash flow, bro.
I think I keep like 2.
I'd say fuck that. Streaks don't pay me money. They don't matter. That's my logic. Fucking show me the money. I'm there. If it doesn't pay me money, I don't give a fuck. But that's where I'm. That's the season I'm in my life. That's what I'll call it. All right. So episode 2, about wrapping up here. Again, where can they find you? Where can they reach out to you?
On Instagram at Angel Big Legs Desma. That's big and then legs with a Z. No, I think.
We'll make sure we put the handles up.
Yeah, it is with a Z.
Okay. You don't even know your own.
Remember if I put an S or a Z. I'm actually just guessing still because I don't know, but I assume it's a Z because my name has a Z in it.
So if somebody wants
It's an S. Angel Big Legs with an S. Desma. Dezma.
well, at least you figured that out. So if somebody wants maybe a workout plan or some tips, obviously they can hit you up.
Yeah,
Awesome.
always.
And Be Strong Powerhouse is the gym, right?
Yes. This one.
Nice.
So,
We'll get a day pass. It's a fun experience.
yeah, hit me up for day pass.
And then talk to them about signing up because I think you really enjoy it. We got some, man, those fucking, what are they called? The logs over there for the strongman?
Yeah.
And then the
We got some
stones.
All the stones are at the other location now.
Are they
I don't know
moving?
if we have any.
Huh?
Yeah.
Those are crazy, man.
Yeah, dude. I tried to pick up one. I was like, pick up like what was it, like 150 pounds, something like that.
Nice.
But there's like a 300 pound one. I was like, no way.
Yeah, no.
That's like you this big.
Yeah, into a ball. Yeah, compressed into a ball. That'd be terrifying. All right. And then obviously we set up Instagram and TikTok so you guys can reach out to us. Big steaks and protein shakes. That's not steaks as in the meat. That's steaks as in like the stakes of life. STAKES. I hope I spelled that right. I did.
Yeah.
I had to think about that for a minute. It was just reactionary. All right, guys. And obviously, if you have any real estate related questions, Tucson, Marana, Vail, Oro Valley, Oracle, wherever in the surrounding areas. I have a lot of partners, referral partners that I work with, other places in the state, as well as all over the country. So reach out, let me know. You can find me at Realtor520 Raul on Instagram, or all my socials are pretty much that. In the meantime, guys, it's been fun. Episode 2 in the books. This one should come out Sunday. And until then, until next week. Next week we'll talk about the fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Rams or Bengals?
Rams.
Yeah. Good Stafford, that fucking ring, dude. 13 years in the league, and then
I want the Bengals to win, but I think the Rams will win.
the Bengals will win. Maybe not next year, because if Brady comes and plays for the Niners, we'll see. But all right, that wraps up episode 2, and have a great morning, noon, night, wherever time you're listening to this. And shoot us a DM if you have any questions. Also, please subscribe and give us a 5-star rating. I know the first episode was rough with the audio.
Yeah.
We had to figure shit out. That's what episode 1 is always kind of like a test run, but better to get it out there than not. So give us a 5-star review if you can on any of the platforms that you listen to this, watch this. We'll be up on YouTube with our first episode, and then this one will be up as well. Anything, last words?
No. Thanks for listening to this.
Yeah. Thanks for giving us your time.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. All right, guys.
Sweet.
We're out.
Later.